Hi, I'm Danny Glover, and you're watching Joburg Today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Joburg Today. I am your host, Leroy Viaggi. As we count down to the Randburg Airshow this Sunday in Joburg, I caught up with some of the pilots preparing to entertain you.
Phenomenal aeroplane. They built about 17,000 of them, and it was used all over in the Commonwealth countries where all the air forces were training their pilots with the Harvard. It's called the Schoolmaster of the Sky. It'll be Scully in the lead. I will be flying the number 2 position. Ellis Levine will be flying the number 3 position, and Sean Thackeray will be flying the number 4 position. He's the soloist at the same time. It's a passion. It is like a bug that bites you, and this virus will never leave your body. It will be there forever and ever. If you get bitten by the flying bug, let me tell you, it's there for life. The kingpin of the competition.
Arnie also introduced me to another iconic airshow favorite, the Pitts Special. Amazingly, this aircraft is built of wood and aluminium and is one of the world's oldest high-performing aircrafts designed in the 1940s.
Fabric which covers the wings. The wings are made out of wood, usually spruce, and covered with what's called seconite, a specific acrylic type of silk. And that is all for lightness. You'll see that most aircraft, all the controls, which are obviously ailerons, elevators, etc., they're the lighter the better, in the sense that if you've got something which is heavy, the maneuverability isn't as good. There's a smoke system, so as we fly, we switch on a pump. There's a mixture of oil, non-toxic, which is pumped through the exhaust, and that burns and gives you this beautiful trail.
Well, the Grand Rand Air Show is possibly one of the best air shows in South Africa. It's one of the biggest and always attracts a huge crowd. Well, what makes this air show so special is that many of the pilots that take part in air shows around South Africa are actually based here.
And another one of them is Andre Coetzee, who shared with me his interesting story.
Years ago, there was a promotion at the Pick and Pay in Vanderbijl Park at Bedworth Park, and Spider-Man arrived in a helicopter. All the other children ran and wanted to meet Spider-Man and all the freebies he was dishing out, but myself, my dad and my brother, we walked up to the helicopter and started asking questions. And we actually went for a flip in that same helicopter that same afternoon, and it was a memorable Saturday afternoon in 1982. Ever since, I've been involved through my dad's own flying as a private pilot, and I started flying in Standard 7 when I was 15 years old. I was lucky enough to initiate my flying at that time. It really is a special day, a lot of different aircraft, all based at Rand Airport, so they're not from afar. We'll be using a fleet of 5 helicopters, 4 of them being Bell 222s, amongst them 2 ambulances that we use daily, and also a Eurocopter Dauphine, which is the only one in the country at this stage, and it's quite spectacular to see it in formation with the other 4. The business is pretty time-consuming. It involves a lot of hands-on time, and I enjoy all the facets involved with it. It's not only the flying, it's the managing, it's the maintenance, right down to insurance, fuel. So there are a whole lot of facets that we've got to cover and that I look after every day.
Now, I understand you're also a medevac pilot. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, that's an awkward position to occupy, in the sense that you can't pray for business. You typically go and fetch people next to the side of the road that are very ill and very sick. And it involves a lot of sitting around, a lot of waiting for calls. There might not be any calls on a given day or a given shift, but it's fulfilling in the sense that people that are airlifted were sick and are generally returned to service, if I can call it that, within a short space of time.
As always, we'd love to hear from you, so be a part of the conversation. Like the Facebook page, that's joburgtoday.tv, and follow The Real Trend in Joburg on our Twitter account at Joburg Today. We met up with Elton Bondi and his flying partner Barry Ills as they did a quick practice session.
This year's display is going to be a combination between competition flying and what we call freestyle flying. So I'm doing a synchro display with my partner Barry Ills. We're going to be flying very crisp, very aggressive, hopefully very accurate flying, straight lines, and very crisp rolls to show competition flying, which is a different style. And then after that, we break away from the synchro, and both of us do a few figures individually that is a more free-flowing, more tumbling, a more graceful type of freestyle flying. So two very different aerobatic disciplines that will hopefully show in one display. So the aircraft we're using all come out of the Extra factory. The one I've got here is an Extra 300L, same factory, relatively old design. It's about a 20-year-old design, two-seater, advanced aerobatic competition aeroplane. My colleague Barry Ilse is flying the latest technology in the world, arguably the best aerobatic aeroplane in the world today. That's the Extra 330 SC. It's a single-seater. It's designed purely for unlimited competition. It has 30 horsepower more than mine. It is a little bit lighter. It's about 20% lighter. So it's a great performing aeroplane.
I'm John Terode, and you're watching Joburg Today.
Well, that's it for today's show, but if you want to know more about what's happening in and around Johannesburg, you got to check out our playlist. From me, Leroy, and the guys behind the scenes, till next time.